Hey, YouTube! I am Lucky Sixes, and this is Hyper G.
Yeah, it is. Hey, it's Dread Elf time.
Journal time, baby. And yeah, this is part of our mini series of looking at the book and the state of it, where it is now.
Right now. Right
Right
this
now.
instant. When
Right
we read
here,
it
right
right
now.
now. Yeah.
Today, as you can see on your screen, we are Dread Elves.
So much dread. Lots of dread going into this.
Yeah, a lot.
Mm.
And we're going to get cracking straight away. As with all of them, there's a good bit of fluff at the start. Very,
Mm.
very
Yeah.
cool. But we get into army model rules. And of course, this is an army that you play online.
It is. This is my online army, or one of them. Yeah, I mean, I've recently played Dread Elves in Orc, so in theory, the units I took at least, I know this book, right?
You're the
So
expert.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they're not that popular at the moment. I would think it's safe to say. I think they have issues as a book, or weaknesses that are quite easy to exploit. So you do have to have a little bit of a this isn't going to be the easy life when you play them, I think. Um, but in the right meta, I think they can do very well. So yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right, well, we start off with Dive Warfare and a unit containing this. When they are part of a combined charge, they get maximised.
Yeah, I love this. I mean, I think I was very excited about it in the couple of battle reports we did. I just love that when you do a combined charge maximized. I mean, maximized is always good, and especially with charges when it's literally if I charge, I could have everything I've ever wanted. If I fail the charge, then I lose the game. So,
Yeah.
why wouldn't you want maximized charges? And sometimes it's even worth just charging something that you wouldn't necessarily consider charging just to get the
Yeah.
maximized. So,
And if there's multiple Diab Warfares, then you get First Strike Resolute, which is
mm,
an extra rank if you want to have
yes,
them.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, which is even better because static combat res is king at the moment.
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah, I love it.
combine your charges.
Mm, pretty much. Yeah, and there's other
Fair.
things that go together throughout the book that
Yeah.
mean you can really synergize this. I think that was my Urkanork list was like the three instances of combined charges being a good thing. We'll
Yeah.
come across them as we see the book, but yeah, definitely
Fair.
something to
Uh,
look for.
Yeah, Irresistible Will is anybody trying to dispel your spells. It has a -1 modifier to their casting roll.
Yeah, I mean, when I was playing them, I tended to try and remember to tell my opponent that on my first magic phase,
Yeah.
like, and then it was just hopefully everyone remembers, including yourself playing it, because I mean, if you want to just get a quick magic phase done.
Yeah.
You might think, oh, they've just equaled my casting roll. Damn, they've dispelled it. Oh no, they didn't. So it's a weird one. It's one that you really got to try and work hard to remember. But it's
Yeah.
nice. It's like the opposite of highborns, I guess. Really.
Yep. Kraken Side +1 armor and Stride of Water. That's fairly nice. And Scent of
Uh
Blood
huh.
is you get maximized if your unit entirely has this and they charge a unit that has already taken damage. So that's
Yeah,
without Dive Warfare.
exactly. And maximize stacks. So if you can get all of
Yes.
that all together, then awesome. I mean, I think that if you've got any units that have got scent of blood, and it's mainly the raptors, but we'll see as we go through. You definitely need to have some form of magic missile, like in your magic repertoire, or some kind of range shooting, because you can do just one wound to an opponent's unit,
Sure.
and this triggers scent of blood. Um, and that's all you need is the one wound to trigger it. You don't need to have done loads of damage to them, just a tiny little,
Yeah.
a little prick.
Yeah.
So
Artistry
yeah.
of Death being +1 to wound, that's always been the case. Still there.
hmm
And that's +1 to wound all the time as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, there are some things that only have artistry of death for first strike.
Sure.
Like, in fact, I think most of the times that you come across it in the book, it says first strike artistry of death.
Right,
So I
okay.
think it is actually mostly. Well, we'll see as we go through.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's mostly just the first turn of combat, I think.
And
But it's very,
Petrifies.
very powerful.
Yeah, Petrifies there. This is for the Gorgons, is it?
hmm
Models, parts, agility step. Suffers 2 hits that are always wounded on a 5+, AP10, magical.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bonus thing, really. I don't think you can build your army around it because it's
Yeah,
5 up. So that's 1 in 3. You can't
yeah,
really
yeah.
rely on that. But it's a bonus if you can do it. So yeah.
In terms of weapons, we've got repeater crossbow and repeater hambo. They have 18 and 12 range respectively. Both got shoe shots, both strength 3, and both AP1 asterisk. Asterisk. Asterisk.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they lose their AP if they're shooting at long range, basically. But
Yeah,
yeah, they're just like small arms fire, really, both of them. I mean,
yeah. The
yeah,
handbow has quick to fire, accurate, and standard shoot, so hardly any penalties, and you can standard shoot with them, which is cool.
yeah, really cool.
Otherwise,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah, not too many units are using them in the book, to be fair. But when they come up, they're decent. Quite unique to the army book, at least, so gives them a bit of
yeah.
flavour.
Weapons. So it's onto the magic items now. We have Master of Slaughtery, which is a spear, +1 strength,
Hmm.
+1 AP on top of the spear bonus, I take it. And if
Yeah,
you cause one or more HP loss and one or more wounds, then all attacks made by rank and file gain +1 to hit. Great.
yeah. I love this item in theory. I put it on a model that only had 3 attacks, and he very rarely managed to do a wound, so it was a little bit annoying. But I think it's a great weapon. Putting it on a spear is obviously very preferable because spears are great
Yeah,
as always.
is it likely
Um,
going to be, if it's one of your spear infantry guys, strength 5, AP3 or AP4 against mounted?
yeah.
So,
Hmm.
a decent chance of doing a wound.
Well, you'd think that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just rolling ones and twos on my hit rolls with the character, so But yeah, and giving the whole unit +1 to hit when they've already got +1 to wound in the first round is very awesome.
Yeah, yeah, really good.
So
Um,
mm,
Great weapon or halberd for height of hubris, giving first strike hatred, reroll to wound, reroll to hit, sorry, and multiple wounds too.
yeah,
Which
really
yeah,
cool.
decent enough. Lacerating touch, giving +2 attacks, +2 AP on some paired weapons. So that's pretty cool.
Mm. Yeah, it's effectively +3 attacks, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
when you're getting AP with extra attacks, that's very good. I mean, you've only got an issue with is your strength any good? But with the +1 to wound,
yeah.
you've already got
All
that all in
helps.
there anyway. So yeah, pretty good.
Transcendence, which is a
Yeah,
lance.
it's on a lance. I think this one is quite popular because if you're playing aggressively, then it's a bit like the demons thing that we mentioned about getting +1 strength and +1 AP and then running around with, with the effects of that. Um, you make yourself stronger for longer.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
cool for cowboys as well. Uh,
yeah, yeah. I think that's
and
that's where you see it mostly. So
Yeah, Pride of Gar Dacos is +1 attack and divine on a halberd. So your
pretty
infantry
cheap,
guys are, yeah,
pretty cheap for 30 points. I think divine attacks being what they are. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Seal of the Republic as the only armor enchantment. Every HP loss the wearer inflicts, or every wound it does, with a standard melee attacks, it gains +1 armor, which is cool.
Mm. Yeah, it's a little bit like the Transcendence, really, but
Yeah, can't be
combine the
mounted if you
two.
take this. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, exactly. You can't combine the two because you can't be mounted with this one. But yeah,
yeah.
it's nice.
Yeah. In terms of banners, we have three. So we've got Cadron's Pennon, most expensive, giving reroll failed charge rolls,
Yeah,
uh,
I mean, it's all about the combined charge again.
combined
This is one of
charge,
the
and devastating charge,
items I
hard target
mentioned.
one. Yeah. So that hard target one is for standard shoot specifically. So that's a bit
It is. It
niche.
is. It's a bit niche. I mean, when you manage to charge something that is stand and shoot, and you remember this, you are a very happy person. But yeah, it's probably not going to change whether you're going to charge or not. But you've
Yeah.
got the hard target. So
The next
yeah.
banner only for captains and silent assassins, so not by units. I take it.
Mm,
These units' maximum size has changed to 15 models, so you can't have as many in them.
yeah,
And everything gets 10% charge +1 attack. So it's a
mm,
small unit that gets
it
some
is.
extra attacks.
Yeah, I can't
A lot
say
of
I even
restrictions on
looked at
that.
that when I was
Yeah,
picking a list. So yeah, interested to see what units it could go with. But if you can manage to get something on the flank and give it an extra attack each, then nice.
Yeah, definitely a support unit that can help out.
Mm,
Yeah. And then the
yeah,
last one, Eye of the Gorgon, gets horror, so that means the opponent has minimized flee, I think.
yeah, something like that. I think so. Hmm.
It's minimized already 1d6 or something like that. And the models, when choosing equipment, nominate one rank file. The nominated model part gets Petrified Stare, which is what we talked about earlier.
Yeah, a bit of a bonus to unit. Yeah,
Yeah, cool.
it's all right for 40 points. Not too bad.
Yeah.
The issue is
Artifacts.
with
Oh,
banners
God.
is they're going to be competing with like the banner of speed, stalkers standard and all that sort of stuff. Actually, I'm not sure they can get stalkers, or is stalkers a one that everyone can have? I think maybe stalkers is one that everyone can have. But yeah, there's a lot of popular banners that would
Yeah,
compete with the army book banners. So these ones might not see as much popularity because of that. Still,
sure. In terms of artifacts, we've got Kenrid's Scales, which is a battle spell, Whispers of Veil, which is always nice. Can help
it's
as
a good
well with your
spell.
+1 to wound.
Yeah, it's a good spell. So worth doing.
Moither's Mirror, Aegis 5 up
Hmm.
against melee, and some grind attacks.
Yeah, and yeah, if people do come against you, then you get grind attacks, and I mean they are only strength 4, AP 2. I don't think a grind attack would be affected by the +1 to wound. Um, in fact, it's unmodifiable, so that answers your question there anyway.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I think it's kind of like a way of getting a cheap Aegis save on your caster, and then making the opponent less likely to target them because if they do, then they'll give you extra attacks.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just not bad for a cheap fiber pages, I think, really.
Yeah. And then the Ring of Obsidian Thrones, unless it's shaken, uh, panic and break within 6 inches, gain minimize. So, good
Mm,
discipline type thing.
yeah, yeah, it's a nice
Yeah,
little thing
cool.
if you've got your
Then
units
finally,
close together.
Beastmaster's Vial, any activated at the start of combat, Dime Blow, which is nice
I
for
like that.
beasts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, really cool, really cool. Because I mean, the last thing you want to do if you're getting your cavalry in is come up against a high agility opponent and have them all die before they've actually made use of their charge. So
yeah, absolutely. Oh, great. On to shared magic items. We won't go into them, but I'll put them on the screen for people to look at, see what they are.
mm,
They're from the obviously the main stuff, main rulebook.
yeah, yeah, Banner of
They
Speed being in
have
there is crucial, really. So
yeah,
mm,
definitely. And the hereditary spell is attacks made by the target suffer -1 AP, and attacks made against the target get +1 AP. Attacks from spells are not affected. So it's an AP shift.
yeah, and it's a really useful one. I mean, everything seems to work alongside the +1 to wound that they're getting. It
Yeah,
basically just means that you don't need high strength to get past armor with this. You can wound because your strength is buffed,
yeah,
and if you have this off, then you don't have to worry too much about AP either because you've got this. And also your low armor is not quite as battered by the enemy. So
yeah, nice.
yeah, this is a nice one.
Good complementary spell.
Mm, yeah.
Right, but the crux of the matter, we get into the Dread Prince and the characters. So this is your main dude.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, he quite often could be your cowboy, going along on a raptor with transcendence going on. Um, but I mean, it's funny because we'll come across a lot of these characters, like these main lords, and they're probably not that unique. Like they're all just the army's version of a very killy character
Yeah,
or a very disciplined character. I mean, discipline 10 with disciplined, like no one's gonna no one's going to run away when he's around. You would hope,
yeah,
but yeah, he's cool. And the whole academy thing is another keyword synergy that you can get going throughout
yes,
your
yeah.
army.
So he gives artistry and death to other academy units, doesn't he? If he becomes
Yeah,
academy commander, and Beastmaster is gets commanded everyone with any units with a commanding presence with Beast get minimized. maximize stomp, and minimize
Yeah,
stomp for enemy piece. So yeah, so
yeah.
affects your big gribblies.
And I think if you're playing an army that is a lot of beasts, then this is the sort of thing you want to take. I mean, there used to be a character that was specifically a beastmaster. Um,
Yeah,
I think he's gone because this option is there, and that makes perfect sense.
yeah.
So
Loads of options, loads of very versatile, very good.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
So
And you're happy because he could go on a dragon if he wanted
you
to.
can go on a dragon. So happy days.
Yeah,
But is that the first one so far? Yeah, I think it is.
yeah, I think so.
Uh, Selection Officer. So this is your BSB version of the Dreadlord, I guess. Otherwise,
Yeah, very much
very
so.
similar in build.
Yeah, and similar to other BSB options that we've seen, can get captain and attached, can get
Yeah,
BSB. He's very cheap for what he is, like 80 points for a agility 7, offensive, defensive 7, strength 4 with +1 to wound is very
yeah.
good in my
So
opinion.
interestingly,
I
he's
mean,
got first strike, artistry of death, but the Lord just has it all the time.
exactly. I think it's basically the Lord is the only one who can guarantee keeping it
Yeah,
all the time.
sure.
Everyone else will be first strike on it. I mean, this is the guy that I gave Mastery of
Yeah,
Slaughter
yeah.
to, and yeah, he just rolled ones and twos to hit. So
Fair. I can't do
yeah.
anything about dice rolls this game. Uh,
No,
the Temple Exarch, and now we're getting into the area of like
yeah,
different changes and things. So this is your mage essentially.
well, not really. It is a mage. You sanction Warlock as your proper caster.
Right. Okay.
This one only goes up to Adept. But I just think the Temple Exarch has been in a better place before. They've simplified this version. This version is very simple. Basically, you choose whether you're an apprentice or an adept, and you choose what magic items you put on, and that's about it. And I just think it's
So
a little bit bland
it can be a
nowadays.
BSB though. So like you no real need for the
Yeah,
guy before.
it's a mixture of a fighting wizard, basically,
Yeah.
and that's fine. But I really loved the old versions where you were like giving a buff to your unit and
Sure.
going with temple militants and making them even more frenzied. And there's been various iterations. And now they've just taken all of that out, and he's just a basic killy wizard. It's
Yeah.
fine, but I just find it a bit bland. So
Sure.
yeah, I mean, Aegis 5 up built in against melee is nice as a
Yeah.
model choice, you know. So there is that, and yeah, not the most expensive adept you're going to see either, especially one with a 5 up Aegis that can swing their weapons around. So yeah, decent. Just
Fair.
not
But
quite as colourful as I would like.
not as magic-y as the Sanctioned Warlock, which you have on screen now. So the can be he's
Yeah.
adept as basic, but can be a master.
Mm. Yeah, I mean this one. I mean, Irresistible Will is on the Temple Exarch as well, but it used to be that Dread Elves didn't trust their wizards, and so like they used to be like they couldn't be the general and things like that. That's gone now, which is another complication that kind of takes away a bit of the lore. Um, but yeah, they're decent. I mean, cosmology is a very good lore, always has been. I like it. And evocation and witchcraft are in good place as well. So I think Dread Elves have got a
Yeah.
lot of magic choice that will see them fine.
Yeah.
So,
No, otherwise, it's pretty much standard as you see on the screen. Not really much else to say in terms of rules or anything.
no, no, exactly. Yeah.
And the Silent Assassin, the last one of the group.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, always, in my opinion, going to be compared with the Vermin Swarm's Assassin, and in my opinion, isn't going to come out very well because he
Okay.
hasn't got the multiple wounds against characters. Because I think that's
Sure.
what the
Okay.
Vermin Swarm one's got, hasn't it? I mean, this one re-rolls to wound against characters, so not terrible. And when you're strength 4, AP 3, that probably means you're getting most of your 4 attacks through against
Yeah.
whatever you're
And
targeting.
poison
And
as well.
agility 9, so yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So he's a killer, but just a little bit more expensive. Um,
Sure. Okay.
so
130 points. Yeah.
I took one just to see if they were any good, and they were all right, but they're not quite as much of a hindrance as three ratty ones. So
Yeah.
yeah,
No, fair enough. Fair enough. Onto the mounts, and we've got the horse, the raptor. Again, not going into them too much unless they're that good. The black mane Pegasus is the flyer.
yeah. I mean, I haven't even mentioned that you can get flying characters. Um,
Yeah.
I suppose they're not the toughest things in the world because you're not having a lot of armor on them.
Only +1 instead of
But
+2, yeah. But you can get items, so
mm,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Raptor Chariot, Manticore before the Imperial Dragon. So the Manticore is yeah, pretty cool guy.
yeah. I mean, Manticore pretty much has been a staple of Dread Elves. Like that's their unique mount. I
Yeah.
mean, because you can't really call Raptors unique because they do kind of appear in Saurians as well. But yeah, it's nice having
Lethal
an extra
Strike on him
option
is
for a
pretty
Gribbly.
cool. Yeah.
Hmm.
Lethal Strike's decent. An extra stomp attacks if you want it. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
Then the Imperious Dragon. So let's have a look at this dragon, see if it's any good. Res
yeah,
6, Strength 6 seems to be a staple. Off 5, Defensive 5, 7 HP, 6 attacks. Got Breath Weapon, but that's obviously gone down in usefulness. Scent of Blood was a decent one to have on a dragon.
yeah. Really good. I mean, that works nicely with the multiple combined charges and maximized charges. I mean,
Yeah.
it'll ensure you get your dragon where you need him to be. So
Yeah, and
yeah,
other beasts being insignificant is a rather insignificant rule, I think, at the minute. But yeah,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Right, on to core
I,
and
I don't think I've ever seen anyone take a dragon in Drells.
yeah, maybe.
But maybe it's yeah. Let us know if you've taken an Imperious Dragon for Dread Elves and how well it's done.
Yeah. Yeah. On to core and this is your bog standard stuff. We've got the Selexian Spears. So very
Yeah,
similar to the high off one, obviously. You've
I don't think
got
these guys are a bog standard though. Really, I think these guys are awesome. I mean, I,
yeah,
I
Dire
haven't really done
Warfare.
yeah, I haven't done the comparison with the Highborn Elf ones, but I think these guys are really good.
Yeah, so they're going to
So,
have +1 to wound. They get extra charges in combined. Yeah, and Academy if you want to go down that route as well.
mm,
That's cool. The auxiliaries are the guys with shooting. Can march and shoot as well, which is always nice when you're repeating
yeah,
crossbows. Uh,
yeah, because the range isn't that far, so it's only 18
yeah,
inch
yeah,
range. So, but yeah, I mean, these guys, I don't know, because spears are so good. I think you've either got to take lots of auxiliaries or one big block of spears. You
okay.
can't really have both because being
Well,
elf,
it's multiple
there is elf
spears would
tax.
still work,
So
wouldn't it?
yeah, well yeah, it would. Yeah, you're right. There are other core units as well though. So
Well, yes, yeah, yeah. But like with the Diab
mm,
Warfare stuff and all that.
mm,
Like very, it feels like very MSUE or
yeah,
MMUE kind of feel so far. Temple Militants, obviously your love.
they are my love. I've always used Temple Militants. I mean, in the last one, not quite as much as I would have liked. I they're still struggling in terms of their survivability. Like they will go down quickly from range, and the thing is, you can still get to combat, and there won't be many of them, and they can still absolutely wreck face, which is good. Um, I mean, I like the Dancers of Yema as an option, like
Sure.
gaining that 5-up Aegis in combat when you finally get there. And what's actually quite, I wouldn't say hidden, but it's a nice thing is that because you get Weapon Master and Shield, it suddenly takes your armor to 5-up. So if you are getting shot by small arms
Yeah.
fire, you remember you got a 5-up armor save,
Oh no,
not
it's great.
not
For
a
8 points a
6-up
model getting
anymore.
5 up, like an extra armor, extra aegis, extra attack, and weapon master. That's it's fantastic. Obviously, you go and then go into special,
That is true. Yeah, they go
so
into special if
you
you do
can't
that.
have that as
So,
a core thing. So don't get excited,
mm.
folks. But
No, another thing with them is the afflict -2 defense.
yeah,
So you're already offensive skill 4, probably already hitting on 3s or 4s at worst, and then you afflict them. and you're definitely hitting on 3s or better.
Yeah,
So really cool. And paired weapons is standard as well, so lots of attacks coming in. Assuming you don't choose to go with the Yema and Great Weapon and Halberd option. But yeah, I think these guys can do everything, providing they survive long enough.
sure.
And that is going to be an issue that kind of rings true throughout the whole Dread Elf book, actually. So
Yeah. They don't have the academy as a rule. If you wanted to go down that route as well. Corsairs are again, they got some repeater hambos, so your hambos as opposed to the crossbows.
yep. Uh-huh. Yeah, I
Otherwise,
mean
yeah,
they're like your what's the Empire like, state militia? They're like
sure, yeah,
the ones that fill in the gaps, but I haven't seen anyone build an army off of Corsairs really. It'd be interesting to see. I mean, they're light troops, so you can't really
they're
rank them up.
decent, yeah, yeah. Just
Um,
not scoring then for that purposes.
exactly. So I think they'll lose out to the scoring options in the core choices. But I mean, there wasn't that item that meant that your unit size was 15 and you get +1 attack on the charge. I
Yeah,
mean, this might be the unit that it's designed for. Getting light troops, getting in the flank and stuff like that. But yeah, they're just. I mean, they're kind of a legacy thing, I guess, really, because Dread Elves being the sailors of the Night Age world. So
sure, yeah. And then lastly, Shadow Riders, which can also be special, but yeah, are core as well.
yeah, I mean, if you are giving them repeater crossbows and making them special, I would wonder how much that's going to be beneficial when they're pretty good chaff, very maneuverable. They can vanguard and get where they need to be.
I guess that's the shooting the only reason you're really doing it, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah, but it does. There's this the category of shooting, so
Yeah,
there might be better models to put your shooting weapons on.
yeah,
Um, but I mean, one thing that I would say is that one of the in the seasons pack currently, this current season 1, Dread Elves get the objective where you can have more standard bearers than your opponent at the end of the game. So
yeah.
even though these guys are light troops, they can have a standard bearer on and contribute towards the objective,
Sure,
which is
yeah. They
quite
don't have to be
quite
scoring. Yeah,
useful actually. So I like that in the book
yeah. And
for
otherwise, they're
reasons.
decent cost for chaff as well. So,
Yeah, really good, really good.
all right.
Yeah.
On to Dread Acolytes. What the hell are they?
I
Some
have
people
no
might
idea.
say. Yeah.
Yeah,
These are your again like light troops, mounted chaps, with a bit of magic, conclavey.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, and the irresistible will, which is always nice.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, the spells they get to choose from are very good spells as well. That will do most of what you need them to do. Their issue again is their squishiness, really. A magic missile or two, and your conclave unit is suddenly gone.
yeah. 5 up
Um,
Aegis
but
though to help that out.
yeah, Aegis against everything, not just against melee. So you're right, it
Yeah,
is helpful. I mean, 2 attacks as well, offensive skill 6.
yeah. Or
It-
if you want to go paired weapons and not the magic, you can have them 3.
yeah, indeed.
So yeah,
Yeah.
offensive 7, 3 attacks is pretty decent.
Mm, yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, but yeah, I think essentially your Wizard Conclaves there. Dread Knights, so more mounted things, but very, very good. Offensive, defensive 6, and agility 6 as well. A
Yeah,
nice
this is a
touch.
superb unit. Superb unit. Absolutely brilliant. You can get great weapon on them, and elven fitness, which finesse, not fitness.
Fitness, yeah.
Yeah. Which means you retain your agility just by using a great weapon.
Yeah,
It's very cool. Have the high strength unit. I mean, and you get in the +1 to wound, so there's monsters around that these guys can take down quite
yeah,
comfortably.
yeah.
Um,
I think these are where Dire Warfare, Scent of Blood, for Archery of Death, all those 3 special
yeah,
rules all combined with this unit. Only charge 7, so
indeed. Yeah,
potentially one to look at increasing, but with all the extras like maximized you could get.
yeah. I mean, you're looking to get double maximized on this unit because of Scent of Blood.
Yeah,
So if you need a 6 to charge and you've got double maximized, you got a lot of chances.
yeah.
Four
I don't,
chances to roll a 6. So
yeah, I'm not a big fan of great weapons on these. I know it can do
really,
stuff. Yeah, well, I like that extra pip of armor on these guys because they're so expensive per model.
yeah, yeah.
I
I
just
guess
think
so.
I think it's important, but I
Well, I
understand
mean, it
you want to
depends what
take
you
charges,
charged,
but yeah, yeah,
doesn't it? Really, or what you're planning on charging.
yeah.
I mean,
It makes them
you know,
more multi-purpose, I guess, because you can take charges then. But
hmm, yeah, yeah, true.
I'm a Lance guy, I think.
You're a lance
Um,
guy. That's all right. You can be.
Obsidian Guard. So these are your two attacks with halberd, guys.
Hmm.
So there's a few different types of infantry like this in the uh, Dreadnought book, isn't there? You've also got the Dancers of Yemma
Hmm.
in terms of the special option being the lots of attacks and things. But two attacks
Yeah.
with halberds isn't terrible.
No, no, it's not terrible at all. I mean, they've got this little rally around the flag just sneaked into their model
Yeah,
rules,
yeah,
which is kind of, I guess, it's their thing. Basically, all your army is relying on to lead the line, and you won't run away if you're next to one of these. Is the
yeah,
idea behind it. Um, I mean, they're going to struggle with everything else that the Dread, all the other units struggle with. Shoot
yeah,
enough of them
yeah,
down,
yeah,
and you haven't got much left by the end of it. And because they have only got the 2 attacks each on these guys, and you're not going to have a lot of ranks left by the time you get there. That 25 model cap can very soon be less than 15, and then yeah, the attacks aren't supported by your ranks anymore because the ranks are
yeah,
dead. Um, so a good unit, but yeah, you've got to have a lot of support going around
yeah.
and other targets to be shot. So
Yeah, the next type, Judicators. So these are the great weapon, dude. Obviously, Elven Fitness along with them to help them along with those. But yeah, so these are the Strength 5 AP2 guys. Also have like Lethal Strike alongside that. Do have Academy if you want to go that way, that route with the other thing, and Dive Warfare as well.
yeah, I mean, if the killers, uh, every unit we've come across is very capable of killing your opponent. I mean,
Yeah.
then the Judicators are even more killy. So yeah,
It is
I
good. I
mean,
think the fact that these guys have two attacks as well, I think,
hmm.
sort of puts them at the top of the tree, I think.
Yeah, it's hard to see where Obsidian Guard would really be more favourable than them.
Yeah.
I mean, the rally around the
It's
flag, is it enough? Probably not. A little bit
yeah.
cheaper.
I
Yeah,
think like a lot of the time you see like multiple like for example, if you go high elves, you have the sword masters with two attacks and the
yeah,
white lions with one. So the fact that these guys have two, I think, puts them in a really good spot, especially with infantry being as it is in 3.0.
yeah. And Judicators have had in the UK at least. There are certain people who've taken whole
Yeah,
armies of Judicators.
yeah,
So yeah, it's had its moment. I don't know whether it's still popular, but yeah, they're killers.
yeah. Moving on to harpies, and these are the arguably chaff guys, but they do have a sweeping attack, which is an interesting little
Mm.
thing.
Yeah, I mean, remember it as well because I mean, obviously you've got to be careful with the new rules. I say new rules, the latest rules on light troops. If you get too close to an opponent, you're less maneuverable now with
Yeah,
light troops. But yeah, it's kind of like a little bit of a drop rocks, but
yeah,
not because obviously you're imagining harpies just flying over really quickly and slicing your face off. But yeah, it's cool, and they've got scent of blood as well and devastating charge. So there's possibilities that these guys can actually support a charge as well.
yeah, for sure.
So you've got a lot of options with them, whether you
Yeah.
support the charge or whether you keep flying over stuff or whether you just chaff. And
Yeah, and
I think
140 points for Chaff is decent,
very good,
especially with
very
hard
good.
target on it.
Yeah, yeah, it's really good. Yeah. I think they've done really well in the latest set of books to make chaff multifunctional these days.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
so
agreed. Gorgons are the where was it? Petrifying Stare chaps, and that's the
mm,
two hits that wound or a 5+, AP10. So
indeed.
ages
Yeah.
5 up. Otherwise, are you monstrous infantry style guys, aren't they?
Yeah, 4 attacks each as well, which is nice. Decent offensive skill and defensive, like most of
Yeah,
the
they
book.
still get the
Um,
artistry of death +1 to wound, so that's good.
do. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Um, and yeah, the Aegis 5 up is very handy. I mean, Supernal is an interesting one. Um, so there
To
is that
remember,
to
yeah.
bear in mind. Um, but they're pretty quick with Swift Stride and charge mobility 7.
Yeah, again,
So
paired weapons being free is awesome, really, because that means you've got 5 attack strength,
mm,
4 offensive 7.
yeah,
Ignore
definitely.
parry.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty good.
I think it's really good. Yeah, they can cause issues.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, lack of armor save means that the Aegis is really what you're relying on. But why not? You
yeah.
know,
I'm trying to work
talking
out
about
whether 2 lots of 2 is better than 1 lot of 4, because you can only have 4 in an army.
sure, yeah, okay. I mean, if you're going by trying to give the opponent more targets to shoot at,
Yeah,
then 2 lots of 2 is definitely
yeah,
better.
yeah.
But bit
Quite
more
like that.
expensive, of course.
Quite
But
like that. Yeah, there's an option.
mm,
Thunder Pack, and these are the beasts. So these don't have. Oh, they do have Archery of Death. Oh, oh no, the Lash Masters. Yeah. The actual beasts
mhm,
themselves don't. But they are Strength 5, AP1, 4 attacks. So there's a
yeah,
lot of attacks per one.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, they're like the new. You can't really call them new anymore because they've been around for
No,
years.
yeah,
They're the new addition to the Dread Elf book, and I don't know. They've been through a few different iterations. I think they might be lacking a little bit of pizzazz.
yeah.
um, but
Not
Res
much
5
to
is
them, is
nice.
there? Yeah.
So
So
Res 5.
yeah, there's a decent amount. Like I suppose with most of the units and most of the army, there's a decent amount of rules, but they're all the same rules, you know. So it's all
Exactly.
the hatred, first strike, uttery of death, center plate. Hatred's useful here, I think, with
Yeah.
offensive 3.
hmm Your issue is that the Thunderpack are probably going to compete with the Dread Knights, and I
Yeah,
don't think they compete very well in an army that doesn't have much armor. Why would
yeah,
you have more with not much armor?
yeah. The
But yeah,
only the only real thing they've got is Res 5, isn't it?
exactly. Yeah.
But yeah,
Um, but if
no,
you're going with a Beast synergy army, with
yeah,
the Beastmaster,
absolutely.
then really cool.
So next
Um,
one is the Raptor Chariot. Again, Center Blood, pretty rife within the units. D6+1.
mm,
Impact hits is good. Res 5, 3 up armor. Pretty bog standard for a chariot.
yeah, I'd say so. I mean, the fact that you can get a lance on there is nice.
Yeah,
So the crew can do a little bit of damage. But it's probably quite a cheap chariot overall,
190. Yeah, it's
you know.
not too bad. Not
But
too bad.
but of course it is only a single model, so you've got to bear that in mind.
Yeah, 4
Um,
HP. Yeah, I think it competes well with other chariots, so I think that compares well. That's fine.
Indeed. And if you're
Yeah.
looking for things to trigger your D of Warfare,
Yes.
stick
Yeah.
a couple of
Exactly.
characters in, and you've got a lot of things that can just
Because
declare the charge just to get the combined off.
yeah,
So
it's with Diab, you just have to declare it, right? You don't actually have to get
exactly.
in. Yeah.
No, precisely. Yeah.
So yeah,
So
and great on the charge if they get it. So good
mm,
support piece.
definitely.
The Divine Altar. Now this is has a couple of options with it.
It does.
On its own, can't charge. Although I think that changes,
No.
doesn't it? Um,
Yeah.
yeah, 5 up Aegis, Res 5, 5 up, 5 up, basically. Offensive, defensive 6, 2 attacks each for their attendants, and there's 3 of them at the moment. So
Mm,
3 attacks actually with paired weapons. So are they your temple
really good.
militant type guys? Are they?
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
So you have 3 options. So like overall, it's a nice little thing, but obviously the 3 options give extra stuff. So the number,
Mm.
the bu.
Yeah. Nabbed. I don't know if there's a T in there or not. I don't know. Yeah, I was always saying nabbed, even though there isn't a T.
Okay.
Anyway, I chose this one because I like Fury. I like the idea of getting extra hits on your sixes. Um, so that was the one that I liked. Which I think is very good. When you know, you need to get to combat, so you've got to play aggressively. So why don't you make your combat even more deadly?
Yeah.
Um, Skipping to the Yama one. Am I skipping to the Yama one? Yes, I
You can
think I am.
skip if you want. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, skipping to the third one. Oh, actually, hang on. Has this changed? I'm looking for the Strider. Is it not there anymore?
There is no Strider on any of them.
Oh no, there is Devastating Charge Strider on Yama.
Devastator
I
charge.
was right.
Okay.
Yeah, it is there. It's just yeah. I mean, I played an opponent who thought I'd got the Altar of Yama, and they were terrified of the fact that I got Strider. I think I
Right.
mentioned it in
Okay.
striding through a forest, etc. Um, I mean, I could barely see it in the Yama one because there's so much else it does.
Yeah, so
It brings
much.
Petrifying Stare as well,
This is
and
one
plus
that I
one
think
ability.
will catch
Really
people
cool.
out because of the different types that there are.
Mm,
I think this
yeah.
is where a lot of the other units have been quite basic. This Divine Altar is quite really complicated in terms of like what you could be and what it could do.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of
So
complicated, the tiller option as well,
yeah,
it
Magic
is
Key.
interesting. Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, I quite like it. I mean, Channel 2 is always very good, because you haven't got a lot of cheap options for
So
channel.
the Altar of Tiller is something that just doesn't move ever,
Hmm. Yeah.
but it gives you Channel 2 emplacement, which I don't know what that actually is. Do
No,
you know what
not
emplacement
sure
is?
about that one.
Presumably that
I'll have a little
means
look.
you put it down and it doesn't move. Uh, Solitary, stubborn, unstable. May cause 3 hits with strength 4, AP2, unmodifiable towards the enemy that caused the wounds within 18 inches.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this is if you've got the balls to play Dread Elves as a shooting gun line.
Yeah.
And I think you would need to have a lot of cojones for that. But
Yeah,
I
sort of
mean,
like, yeah, it's
worth
just
a
something you
go.
put in the middle of your army and then
Yeah,
just,
and shoot all around it. And if
yeah.
someone does manage to do damage to you, you spark back with
But
some
the
hits.
shots only happen if they do damage to you as well, so that's like a,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
In placement, it just means they can't charge, but if they do flee, they die.
Okay, yeah,
So
so, yeah, definitely.
it's just not moving. Yeah.
Fearless, so they can't anyway. But yeah, I just
Mm.
think they've just put that in there just in case people accidentally flee.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so that Tilo gives you channel 2 and an extra shooting if people shoot you or do damage to you. Nabbed is a Fury, so it gives you
Fury.
guys Fury is the basically what it does,
Yeah,
right?
it gives it to elf units as well. So what's interesting
Yeah,
about that is it's not only a temple militant thing; it's any elf.
yeah,
So you
sure.
can give like Fury to your whole unit of spears as well,
Like
which is quite cool.
adjudicators or whatever. Yeah, cool.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
that's like your fury to everyone within 12. So that's cool. The Yema is basically petrified stare and
and mobility.
mobility. Okay, so
Mm.
in a nutshell, that's what you get for each of them.
Yeah,
There you go,
yeah.
folks. Uh,
Mm.
Hunting chariots, the next chariot type we get. So this is the harpoon launcher. Basically, is the thing that makes this stand
Pretty
out from the
much.
rest.
Yeah,
18
exactly.
inches, 3 plus aim, 3 shots, strength 3, so 6, AP3, accurate as well, which is and quick fire, so only cover and stuff is going to stop, give you plus ones.
Mm. It's quite unique in the fact that it takes Swift Stride away as well. So I
Yeah,
like that rule. I
yeah,
like that. There's a bit of color in there. I love stuff like that. And yeah, it's one to remember. Like if you've got two targets and you're worried that one of them is going to charge you, and one of them's got Swift Stride and the other
yeah.
hasn't,
You only have to be
take
hit
Swift
as
Stride
well,
away.
not wounded by this thing. So,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so it's gonna
Got a big
what
harpoon sticking out. Yeah.
you could go 10 inches, so 28 range, threat range, is it effectively?
Mm.
Yeah, cool. Repeater battery, pretty standard in terms of the elves, these two elves anyway. But this one is your 8-shot strength 5 AP2. So this has been like this for a little while. 24-inch range. Can shoot after advance or reform move as well.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I suppose the emplacement rule comes in again here, and I think maybe did I say that emplacement can't move?
No,
Because I
you
think
said can't
emplacement just means
charge.
you can't charge.
Yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, so this, I mean, yeah, this is what makes the Dread Elf one unique is the fact that it
yeah,
can
very
move
much so.
and shoot.
Yeah.
Um,
So after a reform move, that means it can move 10. But because
uh,
it's
uh,
no, it couldn't because it hasn't got light troops.
correct. Yeah,
Yeah, so can move 5 and shoot, or can move 10. Uh, yeah, and just get out of the way.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, because it can't perform a march move, being in placement. So
Oh right, okay. So
yeah,
yeah,
so it would
can't
have
go
to be
10.
a
Yeah,
reform. No, yeah.
sure.
Mm.
All right.
But I mean, let's just face it, the 8 shots is awesome at strength 5.
Yeah,
Like,
really
let's not
good.
worry too much about the
Yeah,
moving part. Yeah, if you can get 8 shots off hitting on a 3 target with AP2, you are going to
yeah.
cause problems. If
Certainly gonna
anything, it could
help.
be like a chariot killer or something, or any unit killer. But
Yeah, just mass ranked infantry. To be honest.
mm, yeah, I like
Yeah,
it.
really cool. Black Cloaks, and we have a few different types here as well.
It's a weird one. I mean, I spent a long time looking at this unit entry and just trying to work out why covert operatives were listed like that. I mean, it does make sense. The covert operatives are a choice, and they
Uh-huh.
gain hard target
Mhm.
and skirmisher if you take them. And if you do, you've got to choose a shooting weapon with possibly poison attacks on top.
Yeah.
Whereas your non-covert operatives kind of just fight, and that's fine too, because they're dread elves and they can fight. But why wouldn't you have some kind of shooting weapons? So
So your Black Cloaks that can not shoot are more
see, that's what
expensive.
I mean. I've looked at this page so many times to try and understand it. Like,
Oh,
what are
because
the
it's
actual stat
eight to
lines of
ten
the?
rather than 5 to 10 models.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
exactly. But the same stat line for both options,
Yeah.
basically. Um, so
All
yeah.
right. Okay. Yeah. So in terms of an actual unit, light troops, scout, vanguard, have all that for skirmishers. Poison shooting is pretty good.
Mm,
On
really
your
good.
Hambo as well, because is the Hambo the one with accurate and stuff?
Yes, yes, it is. Yeah, and quick
So
to
yeah,
fire.
that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean they're the equivalent of the chameleons from Saurian Ancients, really.
Yeah.
um, and they can fight as well, which is nice.
Yeah.
You can.
No, it's good to
Devastating
have.
charge distracting gives them a chance of surviving
Yeah,
as well.
good to have
So.
poison shooting. I think, and yeah, as support, fair enough.
And Scout and Vanguard means you can really put them in a place that's going to cause problems. So,
Yeah, and die warfare again for the extra if you need that. So
mm,
yeah, cool. On to the menagerie, and that
yeah.
just makes me remember Aladdin.
Fair enough, Disney boy.
Yeah, but yes, the Kraken is the number one in the menagerie. Is he the number one as well?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I took a Kraken over any of the others. I mean, arguably, if you take one Kraken, you should have two, and that should apply to all the monsters. But I don't know if that still applies. I had exactly the points left in my army list to pick one, and so
Yeah,
it
yeah,
made sense for me. And they're good. I mean, Coastal Predator won't come into it that often. Basically, you gain hard target if you're in cover in water.
yeah.
So look for the water. Um,
So the big thing about him is the strength 7 AP3, and he hates and multiple wounds against big things. Like
yeah,
heights 3 to 5 is a lot of stuff.
it is a lot of stuff, and it's really good that it wasn't the height 4 to 5 because it makes him very
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Um, and Stomp attacks D6, obviously very good. The Lash Masters aren't terrible to have as an extra thing running around on your monster. A lot of the monsters don't
+1 to
have
wound. Yeah,
crew, and then
yeah,
these two are decent at adding a wound or two on top of things. He's got distracting as well on his profile. So in combat, with a defensive of 5, he's not the easiest monster to hit either. But then that has to be the case because they're only being res 5. So,
Yes.
but then 4 up
Well,
armor
res
as well.
5, 6 HP, 4 up armor. Yeah, decent. I think it's pretty good. I like the 3 to 5. I think it's a pretty good spot at a minute. It's cracking. 380 is not too expensive either. It's probably
No.
more towards top end.
He
Middle
can,
to
he
top
can
end.
keep the opponent's monsters honest throughout the
Yeah,
battle,
yeah,
really.
yeah. You definitely
He's
got to think
wandering
about this guy.
around. Yeah, they've got to deal with him quickly, or he's going to keep you away. So
Yeah. So the Hydra at slightly more points is res 6, HP 6 with regen. Is probably where the extra points come in. Doesn't have all the fancy attack, but is your defensive. Definitely winning on the defensive side. Poison attacks is great. Rage is great, although with 6 HP, not as much as what the other things with rage get from that.
no,
Breath weapon. I don't look at breath weapons now. I don't know about you. I don't look at breath weapons as
no,
as a tactical thing anymore.
no, and strength 3 AP 1 really isn't going to cut it. So yeah, you're probably just not using the monster for it, really.
Yeah, Center Blood's alright. Charge and mobility 6 is okay for that sort of size. It's a bit
the Swift
on the
Stride makes
slower
it
side.
okay.
Yeah,
So, on both the Kraken and the Hydra, so they can
potential double Swift Stride, I guess, as well. So Blood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's good. Strength 5 AP2 is the best you're going to get without magic, so it doesn't have all that many attacks, but as soon as it starts bleeding, which isn't a lot with Res 6 and Regen 4 up. So
No.
Yeah, decent.
I think so. I think both are in a okay spot. I mean, in a game where infantry is probably doing quite well at the moment, these guys might lose out. But as support pieces, that they're good.
Yeah. And last, I think, but not least, let me just check. Is the Mist Leviathan. Now this is one of the newer things, I guess, if
It is.
additions, but has gone through it a few different iterations. This iteration, which is what this whole review is about, is enemy units within 8 inches of this suffer -1 to hit with shooting attacks, which is interesting because not many things are going to be 8 inches away from you when shooting.
No. Well, yeah. I mean, if they're within 8 inches, then you've had to march this guy pretty bomb it straight towards the enemy.
Yeah, but one of the main thing from it is the hard target 1 in the first game turn. Right?
Yeah.
So shooting is one of Dread Elf's big weaknesses.
Huge weakness.
Add in that +1 to hit on the first turn helps you get in.
Yeah, you've just got to weigh up whether that 230 points is worth spending on this, or is it better to get more models for those two.
Yeah.
And it'll be completely on preference, really. But there's a lot of really cool modeling options with a model like this.
Yeah, really good.
And stats wise, 9 HP, res 5, distracting. If the opponent doesn't take him down, then he can become a support piece after he's done his job. So and fly as well.
This guy would love rage.
Well, yes, yeah,
that's what you want to do. Put rage on this guy. But strength 4, AP3. He's not the strongest, but AP3 is decent.
No. I mean, I think he very much limited to a support charge more than anything. I like him. The trouble is with Dread Elves is that you will run out of points quickly once you've taken the main units, the ranked up units.
Yeah, you really want to. You need to want to have this guy, don't you, to have him in.
Yeah,
but that does take us to the end of the Dread Elf review, up-to-date review, as of.
I'll tell you what.
Anyway.
There's so much colour in that book. It's so good.
Yeah.
But I don't think any Dread Elf player will ever stop saying, "You'll just shoot me off." So Yeah, you've got to play it
It's
really
a,
aggressively and get to your
yeah,
opponent. So.
it's an elf problem for the most part.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe a Dread Elf player's more whingy about that than any other Elf player. I don't know.
No, I don't
You
know.
you would know. You
Yeah,
play the other two elves, so
yeah. But no, yeah, it's Dread Elves are, yeah, good. As you say, once you get into combat, they're devastating.
oh yeah, really good.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and let us know about your Dread Elf things. Have we missed anything? Have we gone past a unit and said and just completely missed one of the rules that makes them the best or the worst in the book? Let us know. But otherwise, yeah, we move on in this mini series. Hope you're enjoying. Leave lots of comments, like, share, subscribe, and all that jazz.
Yeah, here come the dwarfs.
Yeah. So until then, see you later.